What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. It is day 17. I did the little whoa, that's weird. Day 17 of Going for 25 Days of Christmas. This is a series where I'm uploading daily up until Christmas Day. So we got about a week left. Of this. I'll probably keep the daily uploads, but we'll see what happens. Today we are talking about the first round of the college football playoffs. The first round of college football playoffs starts on Friday with Alabama and Oklahoma. I'm going to go through every single game and give my thoughts and give my predictions on who's going to win each game and why. But before I do that, man, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, man. We had a goal of hitting 300 subs. We hit 300 subs. Now we are trying to get more. Dare I say 400 subs? Can we hit 400 subs real soon? I don't know. But I just know I cannot do that without the help from you and the support from you all. So please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share with your folks. Do all those things that I need you to do. Let's get right into it. Okay. Really excited, y'all. Really excited because I can say that this year we have a lot better games. I would say a lot better games. I expect this first round, kind of, sort of. I expect this first round to have more competitive games than the last first round did. Last year, we saw some teams just get blown out. And that's because the seedings for the college football playoffs was off with the conference champions having automatic bids. So you had teams that really should have been top 4, top 5 down in like 7, 8. We saw Ohio State, the reigning defending champions, blow out Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Along with other games that just were not close. So I expect a couple of these games to be pretty good. Now, I do predict that the Tulane, Ole Miss, and the Oregon and JMU games are not going to be good, but I'm going to dive into that more. But I'm excited. Football's back. The NCAA college football versions of March Madness is here. Now, it's not as crazy, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into the first game. The first game I'm talking about is the number 5 Oregon Ducks hosting the number 12 seeded James Madison Dukes. Now, this game will take place in Eugene at Oregon. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't think it's gonna be that good of a game. I don't think it's gonna be a game at all. I think Oregon is, one of the best teams in the country, obviously, and they're playing up against a JMU team that deserves. I say they deserve their spot. I know I'm a guy that said that I don't like the G5 teams in it, but if we're gonna have G5 teams in it, JMU deserves it. They're 14-1. They've only lost one game this year, and that was to Louisville early on in the season. I actually graduated from Georgia Southern University, so I've watched several JMU games as an Eagle. And to be honest, y'all, I look at the team. I don't think they're a Sun Belt team. I think that the way they're constructed, as far as like the O line and the D line and the trenches and stuff, this team is way better than the teams in the Sun Belt, and that's why they have a 14-1 record. But they're going into some different waters this weekend. They're going up against Oregon. Oregon's only lost to the number 1 team in the nation in Indiana. I think Dante Moore and them guys are going to take care of business. I got Oregon by a couple of scores. But that's not shortchanging JMU, man. They've had a great season. That's a great program. I believe the head coach is also leaving. I think he took another job elsewhere. Shout out to him, but I don't think it's gonna be. This is one of those games where it's just too much talent on one side. Now, if JMU proves me wrong, that will be an absolute spectacle. But I think Oregon takes this one pretty easily. Number 6 with Ole Miss and Tulane. I got pretty much the same story. I understand a bunch of people look at Ole Miss and say, okay, Lane Kiffin's gone. These coaches are gone. Pete Golden's first game as head coach is going to be in the college football playoffs. I don't think that's going to be an issue in this game. Ole Miss actually beat Tulane in week 4 with the final score of 45-10. And that was just a massacre. And to be honest, I understand these two teams are different now than they are back months prior, but I think the talent level on Ole Miss is just way too high. They still got champions. They still got Kewan Lacey. They still got the stars on that defense. I just do not think that Tulane's going to pull off the upset. I don't think the coaching is going to be a big enough factor for Tulane to pull off the upset. Now, once again, same thing with JMU. They may pull off an upset, but I just don't see it. I don't see it happening. Now, number 7, TAMU, Texas A&M versus number 10 Miami at Kyle Field in College Station. This, and of course the next game I'm going to talk about, I expect them to be great games. I think it's poetic that these two teams play in the first round, because these two teams are the two teams that beat Notre Dame and kept them out. Miami sneaked in at the number 10 seed on the final rankings. And I look at the matchup, y'all. I think about, how talent-wise, how close these two teams are, because I believe there's a bunch of talent on TAMU. I think there's a bunch of talent on Miami. But I think the real difference is going to be home field. College Station is one of the toughest places to go in and win games. And we've known this over the course of history. And we've seen it this year. Texas A&M is 7-0. 7-0 at home this year. They have not lost a game at the crib. So, I'm not betting against them. I'm not betting against them to lose this game. I look at the matchup. I think it's going to be a really good Miami defense versus a really good Texas A&M offense. If we know the guys, Texas A&M got Texas A&M with Marcel Reed, Casey Concepcion, and Mario Craver. Man, I think the thing with A&M to me is that they just had one bad game this year. I look at A&M. A&M was looking like one of the best teams in the country all year long, up until they lost to Texas, who was fighting for their college football lives the last game of the year in a rivalry game in Austin. And Texas A&M lost the game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that A&M hadn't shown red flags, because that first half against South Carolina was a major red flag as to who they are. But I believe that in this matchup, they're going to take care of business. And I understand this is Miami, a team that really makes you one-dimensional in terms of really just locking down the run game. They're number 7th in the country in terms of run yards allowed per game. And Texas A&M's not, they run the ball pretty good, averaging almost 178 rushing yards a game, but they're not the best run D team in the NFL, in the country, I'm sorry. But I think if you can make them super one-dimensional, that could be a problem. But in the same breath, allowing Marcel Reed to get out and run, get out and run to get on a run, throw the ball to all these weapons he's got, is a problem in itself. So I'm looking forward to this matchup between a good offense and a good defense, but I have Texas A&M winning this game, and that really may be just because they're at the crib. If they were at Miami, I probably would have Miami winning. I think the QB battle is going to make the ultimate difference. Can Carson Beck outplay Marcel Reed? Can Marcel Reed outplay Carson Beck? And which one of these two quarterbacks, along with the weapons, along with Malachi Tony, along with C.J. Daniels and the guys that Miami has, can they put themselves in a position to win? And I didn't even mention the two backs that Miami has, because they are a run team as well. So we're going to see. I'm excited to see this game for sure. But I got A&M winning. The last game I got on the docket today, number 8 Oklahoma versus number 9 Alabama, in a rematch of their Week 12 matchup in Tuscaloosa, where Oklahoma came away with a 23-21 win that ultimately landed them in the playoffs. If without that win, they missed the playoffs. Now, that game was kind of freaky. It was kind of different, because if you look at the stats, if you didn't watch the game and just look at the stats, and you didn't see the score, you would have thought that Alabama pretty much blew out Oklahoma. Alabama dominated the time of possession. Alabama dominated the yardage discrepancy. They had almost double the amount of yards as Oklahoma. But the number that mattered most, the turnover number, Alabama had a couple of big turnovers, a major pick six that won them the game, that won Oklahoma the game. Major pick six, a fumble by Ty Simpson. It was just I would say it was an odd performance from the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is a team that does not turn the ball over much. They only have 12 turnovers on the year, and 3 of the turnovers came in the last matchup against Oklahoma. So that makes Brent Venables 2-0. 2-0 against Kalen DeBoer and against Alabama over the last 2 years. If they can make it 3-0, they would do so by eliminating them from the playoffs basically 2 years in a row, because the loss last year to Oklahoma really ended Alabama's season, and this year it would definitely end Alabama's season as it's in the playoffs. But man, I look at different things that Alabama got going on. I think Ty Simpson is exceptional. I think his receivers are exceptional. I think those guys have got to carry the load for the most part. They're going to have to carry the load because the run game is non-existent. This team ran the ball for only 116 yards a game. That is really, really bad. That's really, really bad, y'all, for an Alabama team. Jam Miller right now, I don't know if he, as at the recording of this video, I don't know if he's playing on Friday. But if he's not, then that's going to hurt their run game even more. And not to mention, like, I think Ty Simpson has an issue with holding the ball too long. He has an issue with trying to make a big play. He has an issue with not wanting to, you know what I'm saying, punt the ball. And that's led to some sacks. And against Oklahoma, this is a team that leads the nation in sacks with 41 on the season. That could be a problem. Last you want to do against an Oklahoma team that has great pass rush is get into a 3rd and long situation, a situation where you got to hold the ball for a long time. But I watched Ty Simpson after the SEC championship. I watched him say, I believe we have the best. I know we have the best offense in the country. I'm challenging Ty Simpson. You got to show us. Show us. And I know I'm a Georgia fan. I'm a dog fan for life. But it will be hard for me to pick against Alabama in this game. I think Alabama's going to bounce back. I think the loss of Georgia was a good punch in the mouth, and that punch in the mouth is going to get them out of Norman and into the next round of the playoffs. I expect a big game from Ty Simpson, Germany Bernard. I even expect Ryan Williams to show up because Ryan Williams, of course, he's been ridiculed over all season, but I think with the lights are going to get brighter for him, he's going to show up and play. So I got Alabama winning, but I think it'll be a close game. A big reason why that as well is because I do not believe in this OU offense. This OU offense, y'all, it's becoming an anchor for this team. We see how good this OU defense is, but over the last couple of weeks, they've been on upset alert. They beat Missouri by 2 scores, by 11 points. But, y'all, when I say they were literally broken coverage away from losing to LSU on the last week of the season, they were broken coverage away from losing to LSU on the last week of the season. And that is scary. I look at John Mateer. John Mateer, a guy that has struggled ever since he got back from injury. Can the defense play good enough to allow Mateer to... Can the defense play good enough for Oklahoma to make up for how bad this offense probably is going to be on Friday? I just don't know. I don't think so. So I got Alabama winning. But that's all I got for these games. I got the 4 games. Of course, we're going to have reactions to these games as well as predictions for the next round. But put in the comment section, what do you think different? Do you think one of the G5 schools are going to come away with a big-time upset? Do y'all think Oklahoma's going to sweep Alabama on the season? Do we think Miami's going to make it out of Kyle Field? Let me know in the comment section. I will respond to you for sure. I love talking ball. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, I'm going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.